What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. In today's video, I'm going to tell you why I officially got rid of all of my MCOM and MULN in the last 7 days and what you might want to consider doing over the course of the next month or two. How in the world did we rack up 11 straight winners for almost 350% in the month of November alone? And what direction, if any, is this channel going to take in 2024 and beyond? All that and more coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Monday to you. I hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving. If you celebrate here in the States, nothing but mad love all over the world to those of you who don't. I want to start off by saying thank you very much. I got my annual flu about 4 or 5 days ago. I'd say I'm about 80% right now. So if this video, that's all, folks. We don't edit around here. So if you're new, welcome. If this video is a bit of a train wreck, now you know why. But I'm about 80% and I should be up to snuff by Wednesday or Thursday. I am going to spend at least 5 or 6 minutes, maybe longer, in the second half of the video trying to help out the bag holders that refuse to let go of the two stocks that start with M. And then I want to give you an idea as to what I'm thinking, and I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments with respect to the direction of this channel as we go into the end of this year, beginning of next. But let me start off with a number of housekeeping issues which will affect everyone, especially those that are inside of the Discord. Number one, if you don't pay your bill, we give you 48 hours to respond. The only place to pay your bill is trysmallbiz.com. Discord if you don't have a small biz. Premium has everything if you do. Trysmallbiz.com. Cancel anytime. 60-day money-back guarantee. But we had a lot of people over the holidays that did not pay their bill for whatever reason. Some of them have no intention of doing so. That's fine. I appreciate you stopping by. I wish you the best of luck. But some of you either had a credit card that you had to change or your bank put a halt on the first payment that you had thinking that, it might be a scam, and it's not. The only place to pay your bill, and I can assure you we're legit, is at trysmallbiz.com. But I send you a very respectful email along with a DM inside of the Discord. If you don't say, hey, I'm waiting on a card or give me a sec because of XYZ, you're going to get locked out of the server. And we just had 2 guys reach out to me in the last 20 minutes. I'll respond after this video saying, wait a second, I was traveling or this, that, or the other. If you don't respond within 2 days, you're locked out. You'll have to reapply and re-upgrade again if you want to get back in. But about half or thereabouts that don't pay have no intention of doing so. We have had about 22 people quit and or get fired. I think it's 16 quit, 6 got fired in our first 3 months, and it breaks down to one of 2 reasons. Half of them don't like me. That's fine. Too strong, too obnoxious, too tough, too this, too that, to the other. And the other half just can't handle the volatility. And that brings me to a very important point. If you want something that you've never had, you got to be willing to do something you've never done. You cannot get 350% in 1 month with 11 wins, average gain 30%, unless you're doing something that you don't normally do or have never done. The S&P since 1900's up about 10% a year. Most of those stocks are like watching fucking paint dry if you take the top 7, and you know what the names are, out of the equation. But you get into our stocks, we could go up 20 or 30% or down in the other direction in the blink of an eye. That's why I tell you to buy half a position to start and then add small on weakness. So if you got a $10,000 account, it's $500 in initially. I tag everyone on every single trade. It's impossible to miss. If you're wondering, why does 80% not log in? That's why. Ever since the @everyone tag, it's impossible to miss a trade, whether it's a buy or a sell. So a lot of people get pinged to their phone and or their desktop. They go to their broker. I use E-Trade and love it. They enter the trade and they don't, for whatever reason, come back in to give it a thumbs up or say, hey, thanks for the 30% win for the 11th fucking time this month. But they somehow manage to show up whenever things don't go quite as planned. Before I talk about MULN and MCOM and hopefully get you out of here in 10 minutes or less, I did a deep dive over this weekend. 74-7 in 2023. 74 wins, 7 losses. 2 of them are the 2 M turds in a toilet bowl. That's a 90% win rate in penny stocks. I can tell you that's top 1/4 of 1% worldwide. We just made 11 wins in the month of November, in addition to those 2 losses, for 346%. And we've got 1 or 2 others right now that are threatening to make a move that I'll talk about in the next video. You can't knock the ball out of the fucking park on a consistent basis like I've done for the last 2 years now, sharing every trade initially on Twitter for almost 17 months, and now inside of the Discord for the last 2 or 3. Every trade comes with a graph, although that's a pain in the fucking ass, and it's in real time. Boom, 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 share gun. You get an alert to your phone within 5 to 10 seconds max of when I do. And as I've said multiple times, do not panic. 10 of the 11 winners in the last 30 days went higher after I sold. We don't give out symbols because of the freeloaders. You must pay $50 a month as a Discord, $60 as a premium at trysmallbiz.com. But in hindsight or after the effect, I can say so now. HSCS, it went higher after I got out. TCON, it went higher after I went out. Within 2 or 3 days, they often go higher. So if it's me and you get an alert as you did this morning, and I said I'm selling XYZ at 3314, I believe the price was, and then it immediately pulled back some, don't panic. Put it in at 33, 32 and change or whatever, and then wait a few days. It went back up to 31, then it came back down. But like I said, 10 out of the last 11, and if I had to estimate, 70% of all stocks that I've taken a profit on in the last 2 years went higher, not lower, after I went out. You just don't panic. So all you have to do before I get to these 2 stocks is follow exactly what Jason is doing. Watch the welcome video. It's 10 minutes long. It's 90% of what you need to know on the left-hand side menu above the buy zone. You can't miss it. And then follow me exactly with what I tag you on. That's all you got to do. If something drops immediately after I sell, just leave the limit in, leave it good to cancel, leave it for 60 days, a little higher, a little lower where I get out and wait. Most of the time, it's going to come up and get you within a couple of days. There's only been one situation in the last month and a half where a stock went down immediately after I sold it and then never came back to that level. So do not panic. Follow exactly everything I do. And with that said, what would I do with those 2 pigs? Having trouble breathing, ladies and gentlemen, so bear with me. I think it was 2 or 3 months ago I said I could change your life. I can get you out of this ditch. I can help you make more money than you ever dreamed possible with fucking penny stocks that are down 99.9%, completely washed out, largely de-risked. All you got to fucking do is follow what I send you in a tag by way of a notification to your phone or your desktop or both. It's all you got to do. It's impossible to miss. The only reason you're going to fail is because you got your thumb up your fucking ass without any lube whatsoever, or you're overthinking, or you're cherry picking, which is a big problem inside of the Discord, or you think you're fucking smarter than I am, like some of these scalpers that have quit in the last 2 weeks, some of which come back, right, Damon, to say they screwed up and they want to do it the right way. Ask what Warren Buffett thinks of scalping or day trading. I have no problem with make it, take it. I have no problem getting into a stock, and an hour later, if it's up 25 or 30%, pull the fucking ripcord. But when you sit down and you say, what can I buy now and sell in the next hour or by close of business, you're going to wipe yourself out. I shorted 10,000 shares of a $28 stock about 15 years ago, which cured my fucking addiction to margin and shorting stocks. I was a hotshot. I was using the house's money, $500,000 to be exact. Our offices were in California. I was in South Florida. I told the trader, his name was Tyler, short 10,000 at 28 1/8. Done. 2 hours later, the fucking stock was 33. The owner of the firm is calling me up going, what are you going to do about this? You got a $60,000 hit that's got to be settled by the close of business, 4 o'clock our time, 1 o'clock theirs. I ended up selling about 15 minutes to the close. It cost me $66,000. And I didn't get a paycheck for 2 months. But thankfully, I was making almost 40 grand a month. And by the third month, or 2.5 months, because they advanced me a small amount on the third, I finally was able to pay my fucking bills. So when I tell you, don't use margin, don't short stocks, and don't fucking sit down at your desk to scalp or day trade thinking that you're going to be in and out by the end of the day, that's fucking why. About 2 years after that day, I went bankrupt. That's a whole nother story in options at that time. All right, you're long MCOM. Are you surprised they pumped it? Yorkville pumped it. Tens of millions of shares dumped, right? Get it up to 2.5. Oh, here we go. No. Right back to 016 and going fucking lower. But they may goose it again, right? They got 600 million shares they need to get out of before the reverse split, which says December the 6th, I believe, or shortly thereafter. How about shortly thereafter that we get all our fucking dilution done? They're probably going to do 10, 15, 20 million shares every 2 or 3 days. I would use every single pump. If you're in there right now gambling and you're fucking gambling, buying the stock at 01.5 to sell the fucking thing. Anyone who's got a fucking fantasy that this thing's going to a nickel to a dime when the guy wants to put 1 billion shares into the float and then bend you over this fucking desk all the way in up, out the other side without any lube on a 1 for 150 reverse split. You think a $3.75 or thereabout stock is going to survive under that guy? You don't think he's going to grind it back to a fucking pulp? I would not be buying any more stock. If you're foolish enough to be in there right now, you better have a tight mental stop and not go any lower on the downside of, I don't know, 0145. I think the low was 014. But I wouldn't do it. I would have done what I did for the last 3 weeks in both of these stocks. Sell 10 or 15% at a clip. See how it feels. I set an example inside of the Discord. I sold 10% a couple weeks ago in both. It felt great. I sold 10% more a few days ago. It felt even better. Then I realized, as I kept telling everyone in the Discord, and in some cases on these videos, that you know what? Last year, I gave the government almost $100,000, which was half of my liquidity at the time. It's not what you make, it's what you fucking keep. I'd rather not send my money to a government that's going to launder it overseas or flush it down the fucking toilet. So I said, you know what? I can blow out of these stocks by the end of the year, which I have in both cases, and offset all of my capital gains associated with a 74-7 win rate. Do you know how much I've made, or many of you could have made, just in the last 11 trades for 340 some odd percent in 1 month? You could have been out of the ditch. I told you that 60 days ago, if not sooner. I could change your life. I could get you out of the ditch. I could help you make an absolute fortune for $50 a month, which, by the way, as I announced yesterday, is guaranteed until the end of 2025. Some people are going to make 10,000 to 1 on their money. Some people already have. We have some whales that go into the more liquid names that have already made $250,000 in 3 months. How much are they going to pay me over the next 2 years? $1,200. $50 a month for 24 months. They're going to pay me $1,200 more dollars, and I've got 24 months to rack up what I don't know, cut in half, have already done in 3 fucking months, which is $250,000. MULN. Does it matter what they come out with in terms of news? Is it going anywhere? Man. Now, you got the reverse split vote. You've got the goalposts that are constantly moving. You got massive warrant dilution. You've got Chinese vans that are being rejigged with fucking MULN logos. I could keep going on and on, ladies and gentlemen. But let's get this straight, if it hasn't been made so already. I made a huge mistake when I turned a trade into an investment. And while I deeply regret the fact that so many people got dragged through the mud over the last 50 to 75 videos, I do not regret the fact that these two have helped me eliminate my capital gains requirement to the U.S. government. And it's a huge number. Probably more money than most of you will make in a number of years in the stock market, trading on your own. But if you get with us, if you give me a chance over the next 12 months or less in many fucking cases, I can help you get out. No more excuses. No more cherry picking. No more ignoring what I tell you to fucking do based on 30 years of experience, half of that as a broker from 1993 to 2007. I know what the hell I'm doing. I can help you and your family get to a much better place, but you have to be willing to take off the ball and fucking chain on at least some of this stock and diversify into a handful of other situations in a system that every 30 days or thereabouts has been racking up 30% wins almost 200 fucking times in the last 2 years. And until next time, always remember that I love you, and I hope to see you join us at trysmallbiz.com.